Algebra 1, section 10.2, we're dealing with multiplying polynomials. So, in order for us to remember multiplying polynomials, we need to multiply every term from one polynomial to another. There's a term called foiling in your book. I'm not the biggest fan of foiling because it teaches you a shortcut that can only be applied to one type of polynomial. So we're going to learn how to do it so you can apply it to any polynomial that you see. And basically the rule is you multiply every term from one polynomial to another. So the term is anything split up between a plus or a minus. So this is a term, this is a term, this is a term, and this is a term. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this term and I'm going to apply it to this whole thing. It's like distributing, but distributing every term from here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to multiply it to everything. So it's going to look like this, 2x, and I'm going to multiply it by 5x plus 1. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing to the next one, but I'm going to grab the plus on it. So plus the whole thing. So I'm going to do plus 3, and then I'm going to multiply it by the whole thing. Okay? So if there's 3 terms, then I'm going to have 3 times. If there's 4, so on and so forth. This rule then lets you apply it to any kind of circumstance you have. Which is kind of why I avoid doing the whole FOIL method, because it only teaches you with polynomials with 2 terms in each. So from here, now it's just regular distributing, and then we're going to combine like terms. So I'm going to distribute this. I'm going to do 2x times 5x, which gives me 10, and x times x is x squared. Okay, and then 2x times positive 1 gives me positive 2x. Okay, and this one I'm going to take the whole thing, so positive 3x times positive 5x gives me positive 15x, and then positive 3x times positive 1 gives me positive 3. So here I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. This is 10x squared. Well, there's nothing to combine, so I'm going to keep that. And then 2x plus 15x gives me 17x. And 3 has nothing else, so plus 3. So this is my simplified form. Now, you see how I put underlines underneath it? Sometimes when it's really long, it's hard to see whether we've gotten everything or not. This is to make sure that I've covered everything when I'm simplifying it. Okay? Because this has only 4 terms, sometimes you'll have a lot more, double, even triple that much. So you either need to underline it or cross it out, something that indicates that you've used it. Okay? So, we're going to try number 2. So it's the same thing. I'm going to take every term, so this term, and multiply it by this whole thing. So 5x squared multiplied by 6x minus 5. I'm going to take this whole thing, don't forget that negative, multiply the whole thing. So negative x, and then 6x minus 5. And then I'm going to take this whole thing and multiply it by this whole thing. So then I'm going to have minus 3 is 6x minus 5. Okay? So, then from here, I'm going to go ahead and distribute. So, I'm going to distribute the 5x squared to each. So 5x squared times 6x. Now this x and this x gives me an x cubed, and 5 times 6 is 30. So 30x cubed. And this one multiplied by everything, so that's the negative. So 5x squared times negative 5 is negative 25x squared. Okay? And again, I'm going to bring this whole thing, which is negative x, and multiply it. So negative x times 6x is minus, 6, and then 2 x's gives me x squared. So x times x is x squared. And I'm going to go ahead and bring it over here. So this negative 1x and this negative 5 gives me a positive, x times 5 is 5x. And I'm going to bring this whole thing and bring it here. So negative 3 times positive 6 is negative 18x. And then this negative 3 times this negative 5 gives me positive 15. So from here, I'm then going to do like terms. So here's 3x cubed. Is there any more x cubed? Nope. So this is on its lonesome. Okay. We have negative 25x squared. We have a negative 6x squared, which gives us a 31x squared. Do we have any more x squareds? Nope. So this is going to be a negative 31x squared. And then 5x minus 18x, okay, gives me a negative 13x. And then, since this is by itself, I'm going to bring it down, plus 15. X cubed cannot be combined with anything, x squared can't, x can't, and then 15. So therefore, this is as simplified as it gets because none of them can be combined. So go ahead and write this down. Don't forget the vocabulary and try page 578, number 14. 578, number 14, and I'll see you in class.